Well, no more undefeated teams and one winless team left. Wait, we're only through 5 games. How did that happen? What's going on, guys? Dick Support here, back to another video, and after another crazy week, we're moving on to week 6. Man, this NFL season is just getting out of control at this point, and you gotta love it. Okay, so we have the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Giants in our Thursday night game. For the Giants, they gave the Saints their first win of the season. Not a good look for them. Although what is good is Jackson Dart hasn't looked too bad his first 2 starts as an NFL quarterback. That's a really good sign for them. Hopefully he can continue to build upon that. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, yes, they did lose to the Denver Broncos, but they were bound to lose eventually. I mean, it's really hard to go undefeated. There's a reason why nobody's been able to go a perfect season since 1972. It's just hard to do. Now the Eagles, they get a get-right game with the Giants, a team that they know how to beat the Giants. I mean, this is a division rival. It's going to be the Eagles beating the Giants this week, okay? I think everybody's going to pick that. Speaking of Denver, they're taking on the New York Jets. Now, the Jets are the only team without a win this year, and at times, it's just been ugly. Last week, especially against the Dallas Cowboys. It just hasn't gone right for them at all. I mean, there's a reason why they're winless. And Aaron Glenn, I don't know what's going to happen if they continue to lose. They've got to get their first win at some point. But against Denver, it's going to be tough because that defense of Denver's is very, very good. Again, they just beat the Eagles, and they are looking like they can compete in the AFC West right now. I mean, they're tied for the division lead. I'm going to go with the Broncos over the Jets. Browns are taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Browns just made a trade. They traded Joe Flacco to division rival and state rival Cincinnati Bengals. So, Dylan Gabriel is the starter as of right now. For the Steelers, they're going to be coming off a bye. They are leading the AFC North, and it looks like they're going to run away with this division. Give me the Steelers over the Browns. Although we have seen crazier things happen, I think the Steelers do take care of business here. Dallas is taking on Carolina. Carolina, I will say, that was a very, very good come-from-behind win for the Carolina Panthers. That first half, it was ugly. But Bryce Young and that Panthers team just found a way to rally and get the win. Very impressive by them. Meanwhile, for the Dallas Cowboys, they're proving that they may be down, but they're not out just yet. Got a good win against the New York Jets. They're picking up some momentum. Hopefully that continues, and I say it does. Give me the Cowboys over the Panthers. Rams are traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens, and then they're actually going to stay in Baltimore for the week, practicing in Camden Yards, and then catching a flight for their London game the following week. Not important to this, I just thought it was cool to mention. But for the Rams, they are coming off a loss to the San Francisco 49ers, but this is still a really good team, and I hate to say it, but it's a get-right game against Baltimore because their defense is the worst in the NFL right now, and this is before the injuries that they've had. They trade away Odafe Oweh, pick up 2 safeties. Now, it does look like Kyle Hamilton is going to be back this week. We'll see if anybody else can come back, but it's just not good right now for the Ravens, and I do wonder how much longer Zach Orr is going to be their defensive coordinator because it's not looking good. This is the second year in a row this has happened, and I just don't see how the Ravens get this right. I mean, this potentially could be the worst season in franchise history. So give me the Rams over the Ravens, who right now, I don't know how they win another game. Arizona's taking on Indianapolis. For Arizona, I don't know how they lost that game. I know the running back fumbled the ball at the 1-yard line and it went into the end zone, but even after that, they still had the lead. They get an interception, but then the guy fumbles it, and it ends up becoming a touchdown for the Titans. Seriously, can Arizona just find consistency? If they can do that, they can compete. And yet they can't do that. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, I mean, they're one of the best teams in the AFC right now. And nobody saw that coming. Nobody. Daniel Jones is playing amazing football right now. And I don't know who's going to slow him down at this point. I mean, it's just amazing what's been going on in Indianapolis. It turns out all they needed was solid quarterback play, which Daniel Jones has done that and then some, and they're contenders. Give me Indianapolis over Arizona. Most surprised team in the NFL this year. Every time, we always see this happen. Seattle's taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I don't think anybody saw the Jaguars starting 4-1 and beating the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football. No, nobody saw that coming. Jacksonville has done amazing so far. And the only loss was a close one to the Cincinnati Bengals, where I still don't know how they lost that game. Oh wait, it was on a controversial pass interference that extended a drive that led to a touchdown. Anyway, Jacksonville's look really good so far. Meanwhile, for the Seattle Seahawks, they're coming off a back-and-forth loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but this is still a good team. I am going to go with Seattle over Jacksonville. I feel like Jacksonville just needs a couple more weeks, and then I'll truly believe that this team is for real. Chargers are taking on the Dolphins. For the Chargers, they must be happy that they don't have to face off against an NFC East team because they've lost back-to-back games to the Giants and the Commanders. And they must be counting their blessings that the Jaguars were able to beat the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, things are just going from bad to worse. They're just not looking like a good team right now. And you have to wonder how much longer Mike McDaniel is going to be the head coach of this team because it's just not good right now for them. Oh, and for this game, give me Chargers over the Dolphins. Patriots taking on the New Orleans Saints. For the Saints, picked up their first win against the Giants. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, they gave the Bills their first loss of 2025. Very impressive game by them. Did not see that one coming at all. And I'm going to go with them against the Saints this week. The Titans are taking on the Raiders. For the Titans, they picked up their first win against the Arizona Cardinals. Came back in that game. I had mentioned that before. Cardinals made all those mistakes. And the Titans were able to take advantage of that. They got their win. Can they make it 2 in a row against the Raiders team that has struggled so far in 2025? That Geno Smith trade just is not looking good. He's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns. And the Raiders as a whole, their team is just struggling at this point. But I am going to give them the win over the Titans. Bengals taking on the Green Bay Packers. For the Packers, they're coming off a bye. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they just traded for Joe Flacco. Now remember, Flacco started against the Packers when he was with the Browns earlier, and they beat the Packers, so now he has a chance to do that twice in the same season with 2 different teams. That'd be the funniest thing ever. However, Green Bay does not want that to happen again. And for the Bengals, I do understand why they made that trade for Joe Flacco, because they had to do something at the quarterback position, and Flacco still has a very strong arm. When you have guys like T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, why not do that? Those two are great at tracking the ball. I understand the idea behind it. Let's see if it works. For this game, I am going to pick the Packers over the Bengals. San Francisco taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For San Francisco, I don't know how they keep winning these games with the injuries that they've had. Okay? We talk about the Ravens with their injuries, but San Francisco has just had as many injuries as the Ravens, if not more. Okay? And they're still finding a way to win games. Kyle Shanahan is one heck of a head coach. Meanwhile, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're just finding a way to win games. It's not always pretty, but it doesn't have to be. They're winning games. Do they get the win this week? No, I'm going with the 49ers. Lions taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. For Kansas City, they're 2-3 right now. They can't afford to lose too many more games, especially since they've already lost to the Chargers, and they're behind them and the Broncos in the division right now. Meanwhile, for the Detroit Lions, even after losing to the Packers earlier this year, I mean, they turned it up to another level. This is still a really good team, a team that is a Super Bowl contender. Do they get the win against Kansas City? I don't think so. I think Kansas City does get the team right. They get back to 500, so I'm going to go with the Chiefs. We have 2 Monday night games. Why do we have 2 Monday night games in Week 6? It makes no sense. NFL, can you please stop doing this? Bills taking on the Falcons in the first game. For the Falcons, I don't know what to make of this team. I really don't. At times they play good, at times they play bad. I don't know what to do anymore with them. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they're looking to rebound after suffering their first loss of the season against the Patriots. I'm just going to go with the Bills, and I'm just going to move on to the other game because, really, I'm tired of having this conversation about Monday night. 1 game is enough. Although, I will say this. Bears, Commanders, second game. We all know what happened last year. Commanders were down. Last few seconds, Hail Mary, tipped up in the air, and it just came down in a Commander receiver's arms, and they won the game. Probably the play of the year last year. And one that really changed the dynamic of the year for both teams, because the Commanders, they rode that, got to the playoffs, and got to the championship game. Meanwhile, the Bears then went on to lose 10 straight games, only to win in their final week of the season to the Packers. Yeah, it's a rematch of that. I can't wait to see what happens. Because this is going to be so interesting. We're going to see if the Bears can rebound. I got no more to say other than I do think the Commanders will end up winning this game. I do think they're going to win in the rematch. Sorry, Bears fans. Alright guys, those were my picks for Week 6. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Who's winning this week? And when are the Jets going to get their first win of the season? And when they do, for those of you that thought the Jets were going to be the last team to win, congratulations. But not yet. They still have to win. Alright guys, as always, I'll see you next time.